They're full of legal advice, learning about the law. It's like a rolling dice, from contracts to torts. He's got it all covered. Attorney Marks, he's the legal expert, no other. I'm scrolling on Marks, he's blowing up your feet. Learn about the law, that's all we really need. He's got the knowledge, he's got the skills. I'm scrolling on Marks, he's paying all your legal bills. I'm scrolling on Marks, he's paying all your legal bills. He's got the legal education, baby, yeah. He's the litigation expert, know him like the back of my hand. You got a problem, he's the lawyer on the demand. Check his post, they're full of legal advice, learning about the law. It's like a rolling dice, from contracts to torts. He's got it all covered. Attorney Marks, he's the legal expert, no other. I'm scrolling on Marks, he's paying all your legal bills.
Okay. So hello mga ate at kuya. Ito naman po ang inyong kuya sa batas po. Si Mox or Kuya Mox. Maraming salamat sa inyong pagtambay ulit sa aking live stream. I-share ko to para marami tayong viewers. But anyway, kumusta na po kayo? Kumusta? Sana po ay nasa maganda po kayong kalagayan. Our topic for today is kind of short. Short lang po ang ating topic today, pero napakaganda niya, no? Sa mga gustong maalam, yung mga mahilig sa mga politiko, at saka yung mga gusto niya ng mga batas, po tayo sa Under the Law by Attorney Mox. Alright! So, topic po natin, dalawang case po natin for today. Pasensya na po. So, ang topic po natin today is Under the Law episode 50. 50, naka-50 na tayo. My goodness. Anyway, so naka-50 na po tayo and we're going to move to our topic. No? Ang first natin na topic is actually two cases po ito. No? This is in so far as yung mga public officers, yung mga mayor, mga governor, mga ginagawa ng mga bagay na pwede silang makasuhan o hindi, at saka yung tagal ng kanyang pag-file ng case at saka pag-render ng decision ng ating administrative bodies at saka ating court. Take note di porket na pinasa na po natin sa court ay yung court ang magpapasya kung gaano katagal ma-decidean yung kaso. Di porket artista, mas mabilis yung kanyang pagtakbo ng kanyang case, tapos tayo ordinaryong tao ay mas mabagal yung ating. Hindi po ganoon yun, no? Sa batas talaga mabagal because marami talaga mga case na file, pero may mga limitations yung court na kailangan talaga nilang gampanan yung kanilang role, lalo na pag so far as mga kaso, no, especially mga public officers. Una sa lahat, ano bang public officers? Public officers ay yung mga tao na mga nagtatrabaho sa gobyerno. Ang pinakasikat na public officers, take note, mga mayor, ayan. Mayor, governor, yan, vice governor, kagawad, barangay. Okay. Pero paano naman, sir, yung trabahante lang, example, director, ganyan, o administrative officer. Yes, it's still public officer, no? Yung public officer, it's either elected or appointed. Ayan. So, elect, yung binoboto, appointed is yung na-hire ka sa trabaho. Ayan. So, dalawa po case po natin dito, no? So, 2021 case at 2023 case. Very, very good to. Maganda. Binasa ko to. Maraming salamat kay Attorney Ryan Kilala for this amazing review sa amin. Okay, so, I'm going to make it short kasi mahaba yung masyadong technical. Pero ang pag-usapan natin mga importante. So, una, can a public officer be civilly liable in the absence of bad faith, malice, or gross negligence? Ano ba to? Liable ba siya sa bad faith, malice, or gross negligence? This is actually a case with former regional governor Zaldi Ampatuan sa ARM versus the COA. Yan. So, ang tanong ngayon dito is, can a public officer be civilly liable in the absence of bad faith, malice, or gross negligence? Ano ba ito civilly liable? Now, ang story dito, let's just focus dun sa facts, no, the facts of the case. Si Regional Governor Ampatuan ay currently siya yung, yes, RG, no? Regional Governor po ng ARM. Hindi pa yun nag-BARM, so RG. So, nung RG siya, meron siyang, kumbaga, nagtatrabaho din during that time sa chief sa supply division, si Patadon. Yan. Now, there was this, parang may allocate sila na amount, no? Parang funds, na kumbaga ibibili parang i-allocate sila na amount regarding sa supply. Now, yung supply na yun is ang mahal talaga, super laki, no. If I am not mistaken, let's look at the facts of the case. Nagkakahalaga yung amount ng 79 million, no. 79 million, nandun yung mga without yung isang cash advance para kay Patadon, which is a chief siya sa, let's say, I'm going to talk about Chief Patadon, Chief Supply Division and Special Disbursing Officer. So, parang may babayaran siya tang payments to Superama. Ayun. So, nagkakalaga siya na 79 million. Among others, nandoon yung mga hindi makwento at masabi na purpose. Ikalawa is yung yung 15,000 na per transactions, procurement na 5,000 paid cash advances, saka mga bidding under RA 9184, and the spurious and inadequate documents, and so on and so forth. Yan. So, ang sabi ng COA, i-disallow nila yung case na yon, no? I-disallow nila yung case na yon, kumbaga, hindi ginrant yun ng COA. In fact, ang nangyari is nakasuhan pa sila. So, sino ba nakasuhan? Kinasuhan si Honorable Zaldi Ampatuan, the regional governor. Kinasuhan si Chief of Supply Patadon, and among others, other involved public officers. Okay. Now, ang sinabi naman, siyempre, si Zaldi Ampatuan, sabi ni Zaldi Ampatuan na kumbaga, wala akong liability dyan kasi I am just a regional governor. Di porket sila ay hawak ko, or during that time I'm the head of the agency, or I am the regional governor, no, of the ARM, the head of the ARM, hindi ko nakasalanan si Chief yung kalokohan ng ginawa ni Patadon sa Chief Supply na nagkakalaga yung several payment niya na 79 million. So, ang tanong ngayon, can the public officer be civilly liable in the absence of bad faith, malice, or gross negligence? Ang contention ng ating regional governor, hindi dumaan sa akin yung papel na yan. Hindi ko alam kung ano ang ginawa ni Patadon. Hindi ako nag-approve doon sa transaction na yan. In fact, I am foreign with that. Kasi although ako ay regional governor, ang saklaw ng function ng Chief of Supply or Disbursing Officer is yung making several payments. Alright? So, sabi ng COA, hindi ka man liable directly, but because of your negligence as the head of the ARM, you should be liable. Careless, negligence ka. Yan. Of course, gustong kumbaga nagkuhan din pinanindigan ng ating regional governor na si regional governor Ampatuan yung contention niya na I am totally foreign from that liability. So, anong sabi ng Supreme Court? Bago na pag-usapan ng Supreme Court, ito ang ginamit. Actually, maraming site na contention ng Supreme Court ruling, pero itong pinaka-main na malalaman nyo. Kailangan yung alamin, rather. Ano sa Administrative Code of 1987, at that is actually Executive Order 292. It's a 1987 na code sa Administrative Code. Sabi dito sa Chapter 9, no, ito yung yellow mark lang basahin natin. Ito, yellow mark. Ito lang basahin lang natin. A public officer shall not Shall, ginamit shall, mandatory yan ha. Ang public officer shall not be civilly liable for the acts done in the performance of his official duties unless there is a clear showing of bad faith, malice, or gross negligence. Maraming salamat sa Chan Robles. Hindi ko na-delete yung Chan Robles. Pero maraming salamat kay Chan Robles. Anyway, ang sabi dito, unless there's a clear showing of bad faith, malice, or gross negligence. Kailangan, kung negligent ka man, or kung may liable ka man doon sa mga pinaggagawa mo, kailangan direct. Ayun, meron talagang gross negligence. Kung simple negligent ka lang, pwede ka pang hindi malayable. Alright, public officer, unahin muna natin ha. Number 2, number 3. Number 3 tayo dito, so number 3. A head of a department or a superior officer shall not be civilly liable for the wrongful acts, omission of duty, negligence, or misfeasance of his subordinates unless he has actually authorized by written order the specific act or misconduct complained of. Now, ibig sabihin, no, kung nag-participate si regional governor Ampatuan doon sa several payments doon sa 79 million, no, na allegedly na kumbaga na corrupt na hindi inalaw ng ating commission ng audit. Kung nakita doon sa evidence na siya ay involved, yun ang una, ma-involved talaga siya by consent, by directions, instructions, guidance, or merely for administrative or ministerial in duty, no, or in nature, nag-participate si regional governor, pwede siyang malayable. Now, sir, paano naman, sir, kung hindi siya malayable? Negligent siya. Ang sabi naman dito sa ating administrative code is gross negligence. Gross negligence. Ibig sabihin, no, kumbaga, yung totally talaga siya napabaya. Okay, no? So, pabaya talaga siya. Dito sa case na to, ang sabi ni Regional Governor Ampatuan, yes, I am the head of the arm that time. But, there is another personnel who is functioning exclusively insofar as the disbursing is concerned. So, that is actually pata doon. So, kumbaga, ang ginawa ng COA ay sinisi or sinali ng COA yung regional governor because he is the head. Right? So, according sa administrative code, he is not civilly liable, no, unless there's a clear showing na may bad faith, may malice, or gross negligence. Nakita ba doon? There was no evidence. But only COA involved, no, included his name in that administrative case. Right? So, another one, COA circular after also the review of the Supreme Court, no, kasi this was filed actually under Rule 64. Rule 64 to, nasa COA to, no, hindi 65, ha? So, Rule 64 to, sabi dito, no, as a liability of the head of the agency. If you can see here sa number 1, natin include lahat-lahat. Sabi na sa binasa ng Supreme Court at sa to reiterate, no, sa Commission on Audit Circular, the liability of an official or employee or disallowance or discrepancy in accounts audited shall depend upon his participation in transaction involved. The accountability and responsibility of officials and employees of government funds and property as provided in Section 10149 and 10250 of PD 1445 does not or do not necessarily give rise to liability for loss or government funds or damage to property. Ibig sabihin, nakadepende siya upon his participation. Nag-participate pa si Regional Governor? Hindi. Okay, another one, Commission on Audit Circular number 2009-006. Basahin na naman natin yung yellow part dito, no? Pero ang entitled dito, Section 16, Determinations of Persons Responsible or Liable. According sa 16.1.1, public officers who are custodians of government funds, custodians, shall be liable for their failure to ensure that such funds are safely guarded against loss or damage. Is the regional governor the custodian of government funds? I think not. This is the case. That they are expended, utilized, disposed of, or transferred in accordance with law and regulations on the basis of prescribed documents and necessary records. Yun ang una, ha? He is not custodian of those government funds. 16.1.2, public officers who certify as to the necessity, legality, availability of fund, or adequacy of documents shall be liable according to their respective certifications. Again, sinabi ko kanina, regional governor was only included to the administrative case by the COA. But unfortunately, COA do not have any concrete or corroborating evidence, no, so to speak, para maging liable si regional governor. He neither certify nor provide an availability and legality of such 79 aggregate amount which is in controversy in this case. Okay, 16.1.3, public officers who approve or authorize expenditures shall be liable for losses arising out of their negligence or failure to exercise the diligence of a good father of a family. Likewise, ulitin ko yung sinabi ko, regional governor was not involved because hindi dumaan sa kanya yung expenditures na yon. Bigla na lang ginasto ni Patado as a chief supply or the special or disbursing officer. Alright. 16.1.4, last, public officers and other persons who confederated or conspired in a transaction. Again, yung nangyari naman kay regional governor, wala pong evidence na nagpakita or show that there was a prima facie evidence, alright, or testimony or any concrete evidence to make him liable because he conspired. Walang conspiracy na ganap. So, court's ruling, sabi niya dito is hindi naman daw ma-involve siya kasi ito nga, notably, in the foregoing cases, the public officers had direct participation in the approval or certification of this allowed transaction. Ito yung parang sinite ni ng Supreme Court sa mga previous cases. Yet, they were excluded from civil liability in view of the absence of bad faith, malice, or gross negligence. With greater reason in this case, petitioner should be absolved from civil liability because he had no participation or knowledge at all in the disallowed transaction. Now, the disallowance here was considered civil liable, civil liability. So, is that, akala ko nga actually it's an administrative case eh. Pero when I was reading this, it's actually civilly liable pala siya. So anyway, because of the gross negligence, if there will be gross negligence or absence of bad faith or malice, here, Regional Governor Zaldian Batuan was removed and was set aside. So, ang nangyari is na-modify yung case. And our Regional Governor, Zaldian Batuan, was acquitted or was released or was this case was dismissed. Okay. Another case na naman. Ito yung naman yung speedy trial. No? Ito yung mga case naman. For example, I'm just going to give you another case dito man. Ito naman case is, paano naman kung isang public officer, elected public officer, na-filean siya ng kaso, umabot siya ng ilang taon-taon na, like say for example, for many years, tapos nag-render yung decision. May violation ba ng right of speedy trial, speedy disposition? This is actually the case of Tahira Ismael and the people of the Philippines. I'm going to make sure, no? 5. No, it's not. 1. Going to look at this right. Okay. Ano bang case dito sa si Tahira, si Ismael and Aji John? Okay. Take note that Ismael here is the municipal mayor and Aji John is the municipal treasurer. Yan. They are currently elected and appointed in Lantawan Basilan na yon. So sa municipality of Lantawanin, Basilan, yon. That is actually 1997. Right. Let's say for example 1997, so si Ismael at saka Ismael is a mayor and Gijon is a municipal accountant. Now since 1997, tapos dumating ang 1999 at saka 2000. Ang GSIS, sabi ng GSIS, magbayad na kayo, no? I-remit nyo na yung mga withhold niyo sa GSIS. Alright? Ang nangyari is dahil sa absence or failure to pay that GSIS to remit, no? Ang nangyari is yung mga involved na mga employees or personnel doon sa Municipality of Lantawanin, Basilan ay hinold, no, sinuspend yung kanilang privilege to loan. Wala na silang loan privileges, alright? So of course, no, medyo kaduda-duda, no? Kasi yung collection is nagsisimula sa 1990 hanggang 2001. Tapos 2001 hanggang 2003. Ayan, di ba? So medyo mahaba-haba yan. Tapos medyo na-convince, medyo kumbaga nagdadalawang isip, medyo kumakaduda-duda na. Now, the Vice Mayor, Vice Mayor Dalugdugan, along with other municipal officials and employee, file a case against Ismael and Ajijon, the municipal mayor and the municipal accountant, during that time sa Lantawanin, Basilan. Yan. So, balik kumbaga, nagsimula tayo ng 1997, tapos nung nag-file sila ng case, that is actually 2000, somewhere around 2003. Okay. 2003. 2003. Now, dumating sa point na kumbaga the case was filed, ang sabi ng ating ni Mayor Ismael at saka si Ajijon na kumbaga hindi daw nila kasalanan because of the terror attack, because of the marami daw kumbaga kriminalidad na nagaganap daw sa Basilan. Kaya daw na withhold daw ang kanilang GSIS at saka hindi na nagbayad. Sir, magkano ba sir yung GSIS? 3 million. 3 million yung issue dito, no? So, of course, kailangan pinailan sila ng kaso. Ano ba pinailan sila ng kaso, no? Ang pinailan nila ng kaso is 2 case, no? Criminal case. Ang una sa case is they are liable under 1319. RA 1319. So, I'm going to look at the RA 1319, no? Wait lang, ha? RA 1319. Oh, yun. So, they were filed with RA 1319, this Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act. Yun, napailan sila ng ganong kaso. At the same time, napailan din sila ng RA 8291. RA 8291 na naman. So, RA 8291. This is wait na. GSIS. 8291. GSIS ata to. Yes. Yeah, GSIS. So, kumbaga, ang kaso dito kasi is failure to remit. So, instead na ibigay ng ating municipal mayor at saka si alongside with the accountant, kumbaga, violation sila. Yung nagko-collect sila, hindi naman na binibigay. Ayan. Okay. So, ang sabi naman ni Ismael sa Ajijon, una sa lahat, sabi niya, yung sinabi ko nga na because of the terrorist attack, criminality, nagaganap, hindi daw sila makabayad daw. Hindi na daw nila, yung money daw na 3 million, hindi daw nila ma-release at may bigay sa GSIS. At saka nagkakaroon daw ng penalty at saka delay. Yun ang first. Ikalawa, sabi nila, hindi kami masisisi kung hindi nyo in-involve yung mga budget officer at saka accountant doon sa munisipyo. Bakit kayo makakasuhan si treasurer lang at saka si mayor? Dapat sana yung ating municipal accountant, municipal budget officer, kasali din sila kasi paano dadaan sa amin yung pera kung hindi sila dumaan. Yun yung mga mga contentions ng ating mga petitioner. Kasi sabi ng petitioner dito, we are violated, no, against due process, no, because of the failure to inform or give a particular, ano yun sabi nun, to give, ano yun sabi nyo, parang kumbaga it's a criminal, teka lang ha, sabi ng, sabi ng ating violation dito is, ayun, sabi nila dito, sabi ng ating ni Mayor at saka ni the petitioners dito, sabi na nagka-violate kayo, no? Anong violation nyo? Article 3. We are being violated, no, to be informed of the nature and the cause of accusation against us because you did not include the budget officer and the budget and the accountant. So you are liable under 1987 Constitution. So grabe talaga yung mga contention ng ating si Ismael. Pero ang sabi naman ng ating court hindi namin kasalanan 'yon. Sabi niya, sige, pag hindi pa yan kasalanan nyo din. We are also liable under 1997 Constitution on the right to speedy trial and speedy disposition. Please take note, 2003 to. Ano ngayon? Ano ang year ngayon? 2023 na. Ang tagal-tagal. 10 taon na. Aba, so grabe. Meron din talagang, may puto din sila. So nasabi ng Supreme Court. Before we go to the Supreme Court, pag-usapan muna natin yung first contention nila. Sabi nila, you did not include the municipal accountant and the municipal budget officer. Thus, you violated our rights, no, under the Bill of Rights in the Article 3 of 1987 Constitution on the ground of failure to inform, and the of the nature and the cause of accusation against him. Sabi na Supreme Court, let's look at that provision rather. So, sabi dito, in all criminal prosecutions, the accused shall be presumed innocent until the contrary is proved, and shall enjoy the right to be heard by himself and counsel, to be informed of the nature and the cause of the accusation against him, to have a speedy, impartial, and public trial, to meet witnesses face-to-face, and to have compulsory process to secure the attendance of witnesses and production of evidence in his behalf. However, after arraignment, trial may proceed, notwithstanding the absence of the accused, provided that he has been duly notified and his failure to appear is unjustified. Okay. Sabi ng Supreme Court dito, malinaw dito sa ating Bill of Rights na in all criminal prosecutions, what matters is that what matters here is the triable yung case mo, all right? Especially when the prosecutor decides and weighs everything and evaluates and assess that this is triable and it has a probable cause, and also as well as the court, so pwede siya sa criminal prosecutions. Hindi ibig sabihin na hindi na involved ang mga ibang mga parties na allegedly pwede din silang maging involved sa kaso na to, ay mawawalan na sila ng karapatan, no? So, they are wrong. Sabi nga ng Supreme Court, no? Wrong to use these provisions because they have already been informed of the nature and the cause of accusation against them. Alright? Anong kaso nila? Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act at saka sa violations under GSIS law, RA 8291. 8291 ba yun? 8291. Kurado muna tayo. Ayokong magmarunong. RA 8291. Yun, 8291 nga. So, yun. So, X. Ayan. So, syempre, sasabihin na naman nila, aba, ang tagal na nung 10 years na po, sir. 2003 kami na-file. Tapos ngayon, 2023, masyadong matagal. Alright. Bago natin pag-usapan to, ang nangyari kasi, nung maliban pa doon sa contention nila, hindi daw sila kumbaga, hindi nakasama daw yung municipal accountant at saka budget officer. Every time na may mga nung time na yun na parang the trials ensued, dumating sa point na hinihingi na ng formal offer of evidence. Naghingi na yung court ng formal of evidence para magbigay sila ng resolutions. Anong ginawa ni petitioner? Nag-extend. Pag-extend naman niya, yun, maraming nangganap, nag-extend na naman. So, to the point na parang mas bumagal siya. No? Nag-extend sila to file a formal offer of evidence. Ang contention pa rin ng ating petitioner is meron daw violation of speedy disposition daw under 1987 Constitution. So, basahin muna natin. Section 16, under Article 3 of the Bill of Rights, karapatang pangtao, all persons shall have the right to a speedy disposition of all their cases before all judicial, quasi-judicial, and administrative bodies. Ibig sabihin, kailangan dito mabilis ang pag-dispose ng kaso. Pero hindi ibig sabihin dito na 50 years bago ma-decide ng kaso mo. Hindi din ito basta-basta ma-invoke. Kailangan din nating intindihin na there are still some factors to be considered bago mo i-file itong speedy disposition of their cases. Bakit? Ano ba yung issue dito? Nag-participate ka ba doon sa pagbagal ng usad ng kaso mo? Doon sa case ng nating petitioner, they are extending. They ask for an extensions for the formal offer of evidence, no? Kasi kung nag-submit sila ng formal offer of evidence, di ba tatagal matatapos na yung kaso because there will be a resolution, no? There will already be a resolution. But because of their extension, it took them years. And now they are asking for a right to a speedy disposition. Now, sabi ng Supreme Court, citing the case of Martin Ver, a 1983 case which is still an existing and it's still, kumbaga, malutong pa this year, all right? We first adopt the balancing test. The balancing test, no, as cited also in the landmark case of Barker versus Wingo, and also citing the case in Martin versus Ver, a 1983 case. Here are the fourfold factors to be considered before deciding if there is a violation of the right to the to have a speedy disposition of your case. Or, kumbaga, ito yung mga factors na kailangan natin i-considera o i-consider or malaman o at saka alamin bago natin sabihin na, hala, may violation ka, masyadong mabagal yung pag-decide ng case ninyo. Alright? So, sabi nila, length of delay. Gano'ng katagal yung delay? Number 2, reason for the delay. Ano ba yung sanhi? Ano ba yun? Sanhi, cause, reason. Dahilan ng pag-delay. Defendant's assertion and non-assertion of the right. Ayan. Then, prejudice to the defendant resulting from the delay. Again, yung ginawa ng ating petitioner, ang ginawa po niya is, they participated in the delay. Ayan. So, wala na silang karapatan to file for that Article 3, Section 16, kasi they are also participated in that. Please take note that the delay here is not a mathematical in nature, no? Cited in many cases, hindi po mathematical yung pag-compute. Porket after 10 years, disposition of one na, there was actually a violation already. No. May mga cases na mas mahaba, mayroon din cases na mas iksi. So please take note that these fourfold factors must be considered before you are going to raise the argument that there was a violations under the 1987 constitutions on the right of the speedy disposition. But please take note, pag masyadong mabagal yung usad or delay ng kaso mo, pwede pong managot ang court. Alright? So, yun po yung sinasabi po dito. Pero kung ikaw, sumali ka doon sa pagbagal ng kaso, like example, inas ka na mag-file ka na ng formal offer of evidence. Sabi ng court, nag-extend ka pa, hindi ka pa nag-submit. So, kung ano man ang kabagalan na resulta doon, you are already contributing to the delay, no, of the decision or the disposition of your case. So, I think that's all, no? Medyo napapahaba po, but anyway, no? Maraming salamat sa mga nanonood for today po, no? Again, ito po ang inyong Kuya sa Batas po. Sana po, maganda po ang inyong kain, maganda po ang inyong araw, no? Long weekends tayo dito, long weekends. But anyway po, yun nga po, pasensya na po. Medyo napapabagal tayo sa pagla-live, but magpasalamat po sa lahat po ng mga nandito po. And hopefully, magkukuhan pa rin po tayo, na magkita-kits pa rin po tayo. Again, this is your Kuya sa Batas po. Sabi po sa inyo, na magandang gabi at sana po ay maganda po ang inyong kain at mahalin yung inyong asawa dahil sila po ang tunay na batas. Bye!
I'm scrolling on my Facebook page, feeling curious, the turning months. He's got the legal education, baby, yeah. He's the litigation expert. No one like the back of my hand. You got a problem, he's the lawyer on demand. Check his post, they're full of legal advice. Learning about the law, it's like a rolling dice from contracts to torts. He's got it all covered, attorney marks, he's the legal expert, no other. I'm scrolling on my, he's blowing up your feed. scrolling on my. He's paying all your legal bills. He's got the legal education, baby, yeah. He's the litigation expert. No one like the back of my hand. You got a problem, he's the lawyer on the demand. Check his post, they're full of legal advice. Learning about the law, it's like a rolling dice, from contracts to torts. He's got it all covered. Attorney Marks, he's the legal